My father was a coal miner. My father made $5 a day with 5 kids. I'm the youngest of 5. I got 2 older brothers. I had 2 older brothers. My oldest brother passed. I got 2 older sisters. So where I started from was my father making $5 a day. I come from nothing. I had a severe stuttering problem throughout school. I flunked out of school. I'm on my 3rd marriage. I lost everything I ever owned twice. I've been homeless and lived in a car for 3 years. We talking about next level? I'm finna show you how to get there. See, the cool thing about me is I ain't got nothing to sell you. I ain't got nothing for you. I'm just gonna tell you how you can get to the next level. Now, I've been debating on how I was gonna do this, but I thought the best way to go about this is just tell you my story. And in my story, maybe you can see some of yourself. Listen, man, anybody can be successful, but you gotta understand something. It's hard. It's hard, man. You can take all the courses you want. It's hard. You can go down there to the church and hold your hands in a prayer circle. When you get through praying, it's gonna be hard. You go to school, you can get all the degrees you want. When you get them degrees and you hang them on the wall, if you want to be successful, it's gonna be hard. It's hard being successful. That's the first thing you need to understand. I was telling you that I lived in a car for 3 years. In my 30s, I was homeless. I was homeless based off of a decision I made. October 8th, 1985, I walked in a comedy club for the very first time. Never been in a comedy club, but I had been writing jokes all my life. 2 years, I was writing jokes for a dude taking my jokes, going to a comedy club. He was paying me $10 for it. I had never been to a comedy club, had never heard of a comedy club. I was writing for a buddy of mine named AJ Jamal. He would pay me $10 a joke. One day, I was writing some jokes for him, and I was over his house to drop him off, and this girl named Gladys Jacobs came over to the house, and she said, "You the dude that's writing the jokes for AJ Jamal?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "He's the funniest guy at the comedy club." I said, "What is that?" She said, "You don't know what a comedy club is?" I said, "No." I was 27. And she said, "You should go and tell the jokes yourself." She said, "I'm gonna pick you up Tuesday night." October 8th, 1985 was a Tuesday. She came and picked me up. She took me to the comedy club. And I signed up for the following week. I had never been in a car. I didn't know what they were doing. And I sat there and I watched 9 guys walk up. And I didn't laugh at a single joke because the whole time they were talking, I knew what they were going to say. And better yet, I knew what they should have said. Because I was a funny guy, right? So they get to number 10 and they call his name and he's not there. And they said, "Well, we're going to go to next week's list. Where's Steve Harvey?" And I looked at the girl named Gladys. I said, it's crazy. It's a dude in here got the same name I got. She said, "Go on up there." I didn't have nothing. And I went up there and I had nothing. But I had written some jokes for Jamal that I hadn't sold to him yet. So I just started doing those jokes. Long story short, they brought us all up for a clap off. I won amateur night. Paid me $50. I got in the car and I started crying. And I cried all the way home. The girl looked at me, she said, "Why you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, "No, you don't understand. I was born tonight. This is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life." I went to work the next day, October 9th, with $50 and quit my job. Because I said, this is what I was born to do. See, I've been praying the whole time. I won that $50 and I took that as a sign. So since October 9th, 1985, I ain't done nothing else but this. Everybody will have a turning point in their life. You just got to have the courage to take the jump. It's the jump that's gonna change your life. If you don't jump, don't worry about it. Stay safe. But you're gonna have a dull ass life though. If you wanna live, you're gonna have to jump, man. You gotta go for it. Change is inevitable. So here's what's gonna happen. No matter what's going on in your life, it's not permanent. Everything is going to change. So there's 2 things you can do with change. You can react to it or you can participate in it. It's gonna change anyway. So if you keep waiting around, you're gonna have to react to the change. And now you're behind. But if you participate in the change, if you know the job you have is not going to last forever, I'm just telling you. COVID proved that already. Where you go to work at every day, that's going to change. COVID proved that already. Your best laid plans has changed. So what you got to start doing is you got to start anticipating that it's going to change and just start living your life with the preparation for change. No matter what you're doing, you could be doing more. Remember that. It's 24 hours in a day. You got to use as many of those hours to prepare stability for yourself as you can. I said it online, I got in a lot of trouble. If you sleep 8 hours, you're not ever going to be rich. If you have any dreams of being rich, you cannot sleep 8 hours a day. It's only 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 8 hours, that's a third of your life. How can you cannot be asleep a third of your life and become successful. You can't. People got mad at me. They're talking about Steve Harvey prefers wealth over health. No, I'm just telling you. You got to get your hustle and grind on. See, I don't care who you are. Everybody wants to be happy and everybody wants to be successful. Everybody. I don't know nobody that don't want to be happy or successful. And if you're hanging around people that won't be happy or successful, you should get away from them. If you want a tree to really grow up, really be a beautiful tree, you got to prune it. You got to prune it every now and then. If you ever, well, I'm from the country, so if you growing corn, you got to hold the rope. You got to get the weeds out. If you don't, they're going to stifle the growth of your product. Remember when they used to show rockets going to the moon, and they used to show it at Cape Canaveral or Cape Kennedy, wherever they shoot it from? You see a rocket on the ground, it's got these 4 big boosters. When that rocket comes off the ground, 2 of them boosters stay right there. Them 2 boosters is just enough to get this big thing off the ground. 2 of them stay attached. Then when that rocket go up, you can see, and they used to tell you, the next fuel tank is coming off. Boom. And now it's just 1 fuel tank, because in order for it to get all the way up to where it's going, it has to shed that dead weight. In order to get off the ground, some people in your life, just for a season, they just ground level people. They can't go up in the air with you now. You can't keep dragging people with you, man. So now you got these 2 boosters and 1 of them come off. Now, in order for that rocket to get into orbit, you have to lose that last fuel tank. Because guess what? It's out of fuel. It's out of season. You done went to an area that fuel tank can't handle. If you keep that fuel tank on that rocket ship when it go into orbit, you're going to blow the whole mission. You're going to blow the spaceship up because it ain't got no business going that high. Now, you can insist on taking it if you want to. The problem you're going to have now is your rocket ship ain't going to get into orbit. And do you know that's what's happening to a lot of people? It ain't your job. You can't chain people to your rocket ship and take them into orbit. You know I had to learn this, man. Do you know I was taking people with me, man? Trying to keep it real. My boys in the hood was holding me to that. Man, you got to keep it real, man. Don't forget where you come from. We your homies. Yeah.